So change the camera angle a little bit. I can't paint with the camera angle like this because my body would be blocking it all the time. But I'm always trying to be mindful with this painting of keeping all of this interesting without overpowering that. It can, in context obviously it has to overpower it, but this area and this area, they have to get along with each other, but they have to complement each other. In general, how I view this, and I usually get my best impressions when I've left the studio for a while and I come back in, is we see this. You know, I see this mountain doing this, and then I see these trees going into this distant mountain doing this, and I see these trees cutting down into here and doing this, and I see this rock doing this. If you were to boil it down to its most basic design elements, it's a V. And I tried to counter that a little bit by making an obtuse curve here, an obtuse curve here, an obtuse curve here, and an obtuse curve here actually, and that's working. But what I still have is a bit of a field here, or a bit of a small grassy area, which is okay, but it kind of demands a fair bit of detail. And I thought I would paint in a rock and a rock, and that would carry it nicely up this way, but then I'd end up with another V. I think what I'd like to do to try to solve that is, okay, this rock, this boulder that we're standing on or sitting on practically brings us so close, you know, our 2 feet would be standing right here. Maybe I'll take some short shrubbery or something immediately from behind here, and to counter this, which is the strongest downward curve, with directly below it the strongest upward curve, but broken up. So this will be fairly low value, and in behind there I will be able to then lay in higher value colors here, and even down to the corner. So anyway, that's maybe I'm blithering senselessly, but that's kind of my feeling about the direction I should not take the painting, but it's kind of the next solution to the next issue that I have. I like these worked out well. I'm probably, not for sure, but I'm probably going to block off this channel of blue that cuts down into here. But I don't know, I don't have to make the decision. I took my knife and I scraped off the excess blue that was in here, and I've used toilet paper, pushed it against there to withdraw the oil from the canvas. Now there's enough pigment on there still, I could just leave it, or I can paint right over it and it won't be a problem. Okay, let's get at it. Okay, keeping this right above this. This might be a mistake. I have no idea. I don't think it is. I think that we may have to modify it a little bit, but I kind of like this. I kind of like the notion of doing this. I just don't want to make the mistake of becoming too detailed. Okay, just going to go right along the rock because I'm very happy with this foreground rock. All right. So I better make that line very strong. And I'm using an old wreck of a brush here, so I don't have to be too worried about it. I can be flamboyant. I can be flamboyant and pretend that I know what I'm talking about. Now, as I'm not going for the brightest of the bright, well, I'm not the brightest of the bright to begin with, so there's no point in me chasing that. But, you know, not for the highest values, the highest chromas. I do at least have this mass in here that I can now, I can cut into. I have the mass. I drew the bulk of it, just scrubbing in this dark area. Now I can more thoughtfully, once it sets a little bit or dries a little bit, I can more thoughtfully take my knife and cut into it, and I will shape this by painting what's behind it. But I think this will counter this nicely, you know, blah and up. And it complements this. More immediate foreground, less complication for midground. All right, and we keep playing. Well, look at the mess I made. I suppose that's good. I didn't want this to be a big block of brown either. So, you know, sort of got the idea of the bush in here. That dark crept up further than I expected it to. Oh, I'm just going to grab a knife and see how it goes. Well, so much for the bush cutting in here to change things. I should have known better. This light is opposed by this light. That seems to be working out. So, you know, what did you expect from me? Reliability? Consistency? Honesty? Come on, man!